Hello and welcome back everyone. Today we're going to have a look at port channels and how to configure them in Cisco Packet Tracer. This will be a nice little tutorial for you guys to follow along. So yeah, let's get started. So the topology that we are working with is right here in the bottom hand corner. So we will be setting up a switch 1, switch 2, switch 3. And they are 2960s, 24 port switches. They all have connections already set up there. There's no configuration on the switches. I will show you that shortly. Port channeling, just to give you a quick overview, is when you bundle a bunch of interfaces together to act basically as one interface to give you a little bit more throughput on the interfaces, and you can do sometimes load balancing and all of that kind of stuff. So the lab tutorial that we will be doing is one from Cisco Networking Academy. This document you are able to Google and find and download. These are the 4 objectives that we will be trying to go after today, and this little document will give you all of the background and everything that you need to do, and it's got the step-by-step guidance as well. So I have already prepared a whole bunch of stuff. So as you will see, LACP will be configured on the one side, and PAgP, port aggregation protocol, will be configured on port channel 1, and LACP will be configured on port channel 2. So this is pretty much what the setup needs to look like once we are done, with green lights all the way at switch 1, green lights at switch 2, and then it should look exactly like this. Alright, so let's get started. First things first, so let's have a look here. We'll do a quick show run just to have a look at the configuration. As you can see there, it's pretty much blank. So what we need to do is we'll start off with the host names. I've already written down S1, S3 and S2 over there. So let's have a look at this switch. We are on the right one. We'll go into configuration terminal and we will say host name S1. Okay, let's do that now for all of them. Quick, and we'll say enable conft, and we will say host name S2. We'll do this for switch 3 as well. As you can see, all of these switches have got 0 configuration on them. Enable conft host name S3. Guys, if I'm going a little bit quick, you are more than welcome just to pause the video and follow along. I think this is a really nice, fun little tutorial that you guys can follow on with. You'll learn quite a bit. Port channeling is used quite often in LAN switches, LAN switching, more from your access layer to distribution into your core. So it's quite important fundamentals to pick up. Okay, so we've got the configuration and the guidance that we're going to do here, and got a basic idea of where to put the LACP and PAgP. So let's get started with the first configuration. So first thing that we need to do is set all of the interfaces into trunk interfaces. So I'm going to start with switch 1. So here we will say interface range, because we want to work a little bit quicker. G0 by 1, or no, actually not. We'll do show IP interface brief. Do show IP interface brief, just to make sure 0/1 is in fact correct. And we can see over here that it's gig 01 and gig 02, gig 01 and gig 02, because this is the 2 links that we will be working on at the moment. Right. Interface, gigabit Ethernet, and we will say range, interface range gigabit Ethernet 0/1. To 2, enter, and we'll say switchport mode trunk. Okay, so there everything has gone up and down, so it bounced quickly. Then we need to go back to this and we'll say range fast Ethernet. We'll need to say F0/21 to 2. Yes. No. 22. My bad, sorry guys. Okay, so from here we need to say also switchport mode trunk. Okay, so that has been done now there. Let's do the exact same on switch 2, I believe. Let's quickly do show history. I wonder if you can do that. Yeah. See, now we can see what commands we issued there, and we can do the exact same over here. So we'll say interface range gigabit G0/1 to 2, enter, and we will say switch port mode trunk. So we are hard coding the trunks in so that they don't negotiate as access ports, which is actually quite important for this little exercise. So F 0/21 to 22, no, 23 to 24, enter, and we'll say switch port mode trunk. Okay, so there is switch 2 has been done. Let's hop over to switch 3 quickly. Interface range F0/21 to 24, because we've got 21, 22, 23, 24 over there, so that's all good. Enter, switch mode, switchport mode trunk. Okay. Shut, no shut, just to check that everything actually responds the way that it should. And then we can say end, then we can say show interface, interfaces trunk. Okay, so we're all good here. Mode is all trunking, that is great. Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, we need to go back to switch 1, and we will now be starting with the group channel configuration. I will say end here, ft. Yeah guys, I highly do advise just to read up a little bit on port channels as well. I'm not gonna dive too much into the commands and what they mean. I will show a quick example of what fits in where. But yeah, I'm trying to keep this tutorial nice and short for you guys so that you can follow along. Let's say here, now that we are switch 1, and we are going to say we are going to issue these commands over here. So I'm just gonna, I've got the commands open already, so I'm just gonna say copy paste. Ooh, that's not good. Interface range, because that copying did not work that great, so let's not do that. Interface range F0/21 to 22, and we're gonna say shut. There's a reason why you need to shut it down, because when you are programming the interfaces into a channel group, it will actually go into an error disable mode. So first shut it down, then you can say channel, let's quickly see here, and we can see the channel group, channel dash group, and we're going to say 1, and I'm going to say mode and question mark, so that we can just quickly see here. So active is for LACP unconditionally, then you get a desirable, which is PAgP unconditionally. So these are two protocols. One is proprietary, the other one is an open standard, and what we are going to use is desirable because we need to make this port channel a PAgP as per the diagram. So we're going to say mode desirable, desirable. There we go. Okay, so now we can say no shut to the interface and it should come back up, and we can see actually on switch 3 that the exact same has happened. So let's move the windows like this, and we can go into configuration terminal and do the exact same. Interface range F0/21, and we're going to edit up to 22. Only those two interfaces here on the edge. Going back to switch 1 from switch 3. So interface range, and then we're going to say shutdown. Just shut them. Then we're going to say channel dash group, and we're going to say 1. Mode desirable as exactly the same other one. You cannot run two different protocols on the two ends. They will not be able to connect to each other. So that's been done now, and then we say no shut. Now they've basically been added into a port channel, and that's our port channel 1. So now we still need to put the port channels into trunk interfaces as well. So we can hop over here, and we're going to say exit, and then we're going to say interface port channel 1, and we're going to say switchport mode trunk, enter. I'm going to do exactly the same over here as well. Interface exit, interface port channel 1, switchport mode trunk. Okay, so now that is done, we can say exit here. So switch 1 and switch 2 has been done. So what we are quickly going to have a look at now is show, let's end this. Show ether channel summary. Well, let's see what options we have here. Yeah, we can basically say summary, and that will bring up everything, and we should be yes. So port channel 1 is on protocol PAgP, which is great, and it shows the two ports that are allocated in there. And we can do the exact same over here just to make sure that everything is fine. Show ether channel summary, and we've got good connectivity. Right, let's move right along, and we are now going to do switch 1, and we're going to do the other interfaces. So conft interface range gig 0x122, and we're going to say shut. Okay, so now that's been shut down, and we can say channel dash group 2, because we are now working on this side of here where it has turned red. Channel group 2 and question mark, we're going to say mode, and this is where we're going to say mode active, because we want LACP. Active, cool. So that one's there, and then we can say no shut, so that should bring it up. And then we can go exit, and we can say, now we still need to put that into a trunk interface, so we can say interface port channel 2, and we can say switch port mode trunk, because we want trunking interfaces. Okay, so switch 1 should be done. Let's just exit out of there, and we'll quickly hop over to switch number 2. So on switch number 2, we basically need to do the configuration now for the connectivity to switch 1 and switch 3. So let's get started. So here we will say interface, and we'll say range gig 0 by 1 to 2, and we'll say channel dash group, and this will be channel group 2. Actually, I nearly forgot. Shut. Then channel dash group, and we want channel group 2 mode, and we're going to put this one on active because it is LACP. And brilliant, that is great, that is exactly what we need. I'm going to say exit, and then we're going to go into did we say no shut? No, we did not. There, no shut. There we go. Always important not to forget that. Okay, then interface, range. No, not interface range, but we need to go into the port channel 2, and we need to say switchport mode trunk. Okay, cool. Now that that is done, we can exit out of here, and we can say show ether, no, to show ether channel summary. Yes, okay, so LACP is up here. Previously we were configuring PAgP, so it's looking really good here. So let's carry on with switch 2 at the moment. From here we need to do the other interfaces, so we'll say interface range fast Ethernet, what was it, 0/23 to 24, and we'll put it in a shut mode, and channel group dash group 3. You cannot have the same port channel groups running on the switch for other interfaces, because then the way that the interfaces get assigned are going to get mixed up, and nothing is going to connect, because the switch is going to think, oh no, everything belongs into port channel 1, then nothing's going to negotiate the way that it needs to. Incomplete mode, and the mode that we want is passive, because let's quickly have a look here. Passive enables LACP only if a LACP device is detected. So we put switch 1 already. Switch 1 and switch 3 will be the actual devices, so it will detect it and then negotiate for LACP protocol. So we want passive. Cool. And no shut, and then we can exit out of here, and then we can say switch port no, interface port channel 3, and then we can say switch port mode trunk. Okay, so that's done. Now let's quickly hop over to switch 3, and we need to do the configuration. Now that we've done similarly on switch 2, we need to now basically replicate here. So we'll say interface conft interface range f0 by 23 to 24, and now we can go ahead and say shutdown. There we go. So that's now shut channel dash group. Okay, channel group, and it needs to be channel group 3. Yeah, channel group 3, and we're going to go mode, and that's going to be in an active state. Yes, it's because we used passive, so we need to use active. Okay, cool. So there's that done now. And then we also need to say no shut, exit, and then we go to interface port channel 3, switch port mode trunk. Cool. All right. So now we have basically configured everything. What we have done now here is let me zoom in on all of this. So right, just so that you guys can see a little bit better. Please let me know down in the comments if there's something that I need to do different for you guys, so that you so it's a little bit more comfortable, make the text bigger or whatever. So basically this interface right here is blocking, this is going ahead, and both of those are going ahead. So one thing that we still need to do is so basically we've configured everything now here. So these trunks here are active, this trunk over here is active, this interface is shut down. So these two are active. So let's get back to the PDF document and have a look here. Configure a redundant Ethernet channel link. So we've done all of this. We've configured the PAgP, we've configured the LACP. So let's have a look at the redundant configure a redundant Ethernet channel. I will also link this document in the description so that you guys can follow along as well. So verify port channels. So we need to here on S1 to restore these ports, configure S1 to be the primary route for VLAN 1 or set the priority 24576. So I'm gonna just set VLAN 1 to primary. So let's get back here. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna say spanning tree. Let's have a look here. VLAN. We wanna edit the VLAN, and it's gonna be the default VLAN, which is 1. And this is the part where they said about the route or priority that you can do. So I'm gonna say route, and I'm gonna question mark it, and I want it primary. Configure the switch as primary route for this spanning tree. So yes, let's say primary, and hit enter. End. So that should be all of our configuration happening. All should be renegotiated because this has gone down now. So let's see how it progresses. Let's get back to the document quick and just have a look whether we have done everything again. So again, here you can see configuring port channel 3, which was at the bottom here, which is port channel 3. Let's have a look. Okay, so there are a couple of ways that they are actually telling you, and you can hit the question mark always, guys. If you're not sure which command it is, or you have forgotten what it is, just question mark your way through it. It's almost like menu driven. You'll know exactly what you need to do. So we've done all of this now basically, and our picture needs to look like this, exactly like this. So let's see, green, 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 orange and green. Okay, that's an identical picture that we've got. So I would say that we've hit all of the objectives. Guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel. I will be adding more content as I go along. And yes, thank you very much for your support, and thanks for tuning in. Cheers.